We don't want to scare anybody away from it. You know, like if they're not ready, they're not ready. And that's one of those things I heard one time doing a goalkeeper course that I did, and I just needed to get it out of the way. And like somebody asked, when should we teach 1v1? How to defend 1v1s as goalkeepers. And the instructor said, U7 or U8, and that just made me cringe, because at U7 or U8, you don't want these kids diving at other people's feet. You don't want them to put them in a situation where the kids can't control their own bodies, and they're going to cause impacts, which could cause injury. And it could just keep them shying away from the sport altogether. And we don't want to do that. So, like, can we incorporate a fun activity where they don't think that they're not necessarily a goalkeeper? And I talked with a coach and friend of mine about this a couple months ago, and he trains goalkeepers as well. And we felt like at some points that we see goalkeepers that we know that may not be the best field players, because they're just not good soccer players right now. So coaches say, "Oh, you're just going to be a goalkeeper," and that's not the case. Like, we can train them to be everything, and it's okay to keep them as a field player, even though they may not be the best field player right now. That doesn't mean that they're automatically a goalkeeper just because they're not a good field player. And just because you need one, and that may not be your best player, and you can, quote unquote, sacrifice them to be your goalkeeper. So that's kind of forcing them into the position, and allowing them to stay in that position. They still need experience in the field. They need developed as a whole player. Goalkeepers need to be involved in technical passing exercises. They needed to be involved in rondos. They need to be included in not every training session, but they need to be included in tactical exercises that from the team's perspective. How are you going to attack? How are you going to defend from the front? Those aspects within your team setting. So they understand what's required of playing for your team. And what happens if they become a field player and there's an injury, or somebody's able to jump in goal, and now that goalkeeper is forced to be a center back or a center midfielder. Now they need to understand what your team tactics are and how they can fit in.